Sai Ram. Sri Sai Satcharitra, Chapter 48. Warding of Devotees' Calamities, Stories of Shevade and Sapatnekar. At the commencement of this chapter, someone asked Hemat Pant whether Sai Baba was a guru or Sadguru. In order to answer the question, Hemat Pant describes the signs or marks of a Sadguru as follows. Signs of Sadguru. He who teaches us Veda and Vedanta or the six Shastras system, he who controls the breath or brands his body with mudras, metallic marks of Vishnu's weapons, or gives pleasing discourses regarding Brahma, he who gives mantras, sacred syllables, to the disciples and orders them to chant the same a certain number of times, but does not assure them any result in a definite time, he who, by his spacious wordy knowledge, explains beautifully the ultimate principle but has himself got no experience or self realization, is not a Sadguru, but he who by his discourse creates in us a distaste for the enjoyment of this world and the next and gives us a taste of self realization, who is well versed in both the theoretical and practical knowledge, self realization, deserves to be called a Sadguru. How can he who is himself devoid of self realization give it to the disciples? A Sadguru does not, even in his dream, expect any service or profit from his disciples. On the contrary, he wishes to serve them. He does not think that he is great and the disciple small. Not only he loves him as his son, but regards him as equal to himself or as Brahma. The main characteristic of a Sadguru is that he is the abode of peace. He is never restless nor ruffled. He has no pride of his learning. The poor and the rich, the small and the great are the same to him. Hemat Pant thinks that on account of the store or accumulation of merits in his past births, he had the good fortune of meeting and being blessed by such a Sadguru as Sai Baba. Even in full youth, he hoarded nothing except perhaps chilim. He had no family, no friend, no home, nor any support. Since he was 18, his control of mind was perfect and extraordinary. He lived then fearless in a secluded place and always abided in his self. Seeing the pure attachment of his devotees, he always acted in their interest and hence he was in a way dependent on them. What experiences he gave to his devotees while he was living in flesh and even today, after his Mahasamadhi, obtained now by those who attach themselves to him. What the devotees have to do is this: they have to trim their heart lamp of faith and devotion and burn it with wicks of love, and when this is done, the flame of knowledge, self realization will be lit up and shine brighter. Mere knowledge without love is dry. Nobody wants such knowledge. Without love, there is no contentment. So, we should have unbroken and unbounded love. How can we praise love? Everything is significant before it. Without love, our reading, hearing, and the study are of no avail. In the wake of love, follow devotion, dispassion, peace, and liberation with all their treasures. We do not get love for anything unless we feel earnestly about it. So, where there is real yearning and feeling, God manifests Himself. It includes love and is the means of liberation. Now, let us revert to the main story of this chapter. Let a man go to a true saint with a pure mind, otherwise, fraudulently, and hold his feet. Ultimately, he is sure to be saved. This is illustrated by the following stories. Mr. Shevade. Mr. Sapatnekar of Akkalkot, Sholapur district, was studying for law. A co-student, Mr. Shevade, met him. Other fellow students also gathered together and compared notes of their study. It was found by the questions and answers among us themselves that Mr. Shevade was the least prepared of all for the examination, and therefore all the students derided him. But he said that though he was not prepared, he was sure to pass the examination, as his Sai Baba was there to get him through it successfully. Mr. Sapatnekar was surprised at this remark. He took Mr. Shevade aside and asked him who is Sai Baba, was whom he extolled so high. He replied, there lives in a masjid in Shirdi, Ahmednagar district, a fakir. He is a great Satpurusha. There may be other saints, but this is unique. Unless there is a great store of merits on one's account, one can't see him. I fully believe in him, and what he says will be never untrue. He has assured me that I will pass definitely next year, and I am confident that I will get through the final examination also with His grace. Mr. Sapatnekar laughed at his friend's confidence and jeered at him and Baba. Sapatnekars. Mr. Sapatnekar passed his examination, settled at Akkalkot, and practiced as a pleader there. 10 years after this, that is in 1913, he lost his only son on account of a throat disease. This broke his heart. He sought relief by making a pilgrimage to Pandharpur, Gangapur, and other holy places. He got no peace of mind. Then he read Vedanta, which also did not help him. In the meanwhile, he remembered